Yeah, that little ooh there at the end.
Yeah, yeah. You hear Art Taylor like put his sticks down on the floor tom, clickety click, and then one of the guys goes woo, because that was fast and good.
Yeah, that was smoking with Red Garland there on the piano.
It sounds so effortless and flawless, all of them. PC and Art Taylor and Red Garland, the whole band.
Yeah,
When you really put it under the magnifying glass and transcribe it, it's like, yeah, it's all right there. Nobody makes any goof up. There's nothing, taken away from it. It's like masterful all around.
yeah, and we'll probably get into this discussion a lot on virtuosity, about speed in music and playing at fast tempos. There's a lot of people who resist music played fast like that. They say it's a bunch of noodling or it's too fast. It doesn't have soul because it's fast. That kind of cliche. Like,
Yeah, people have different ideas about what music's supposed to do, right? Music's supposed to be pleasing, or music's supposed to be soothing or relaxing, or something you can do other things while you listen to music. You can do the dishes or whatever.
and that's all.
There's
That's
people
all
have different.
good and fine too. But
Yeah, sure,
but
but there's other things music can do. Music can do things that Edgar Varese does. Like make the music super strange sounds. Sound events. That's cool. Why not? It would be like you want to look at paintings of sailboats, only sailboats, forever sailboats. Bowls of fruit. The painting can only be bowls of fruit. From now on, that's it. A
right.
lot of people's taste in music is sentimental in the same way. That music can only be, people singing about their feelings, strumming on a guitar. That's it. That's what music is.
Well, I remember one time when someone was responding with that they playing too fast, and I said, well, I can't hear it because it's going so fast. They're playing too fast, and I said, well, maybe it's your ears are too slow.
Good point. Yeah, yeah, nice. I like that. Good. Take your dissonance like a man, as Ives would say.
But I think one of the things about tempos like that, I mean, especially if you happen to see this live, it's not just part of it sometimes is musicians pushing themselves to their limit to see what they can accomplish technically, and that's part of the
Yeah.
driving force. But also when you get into those fast tempos, if you're watching it live, it's exciting. It brings
Yeah.
an adrenaline rush and energy. I think of like modern players, like John McLaughlin. Well, he's basically doing Coltrane on the guitar, and
Oh, he sure is. Yeah.
right. I mean, that's his whole thing. And
Yeah.
that Friday Night in San Francisco album with the three guitarists, Paco de Lucia, Al Di Meola. That's
Yeah.
we'll get to that at some point as a watershed moment where virtuosity was kind of celebrated in an arena, with crowds
Sure.
leaping to their feet with excited by the intensity and the passion
It seems like the pendulum has swung 180 degrees now the other direction, where that's kind of shredding like that would be, I don't know, it seems passé to people, and everybody wants more soft, sentimental kind of music these days. Am I right?
I don't know. I'd have to think about that, but I guess just connecting it to those kind of high level, intense things. When I hear a song like this, from many years ago, I guess it's to me, man, I wish I was there watching that. Like seeing
Yeah.
seeing that taking place because you get the physicality. It's something that I don't know if we've talked about this yet, but one time I went to see you performing. I guess it was with the Fully Celebrated, and
Oh yeah, Jim
and
Hobbs, the best.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you were kind of doing the free jazz thing, and I'd never been a big fan of free jazz, and for me the epiphany was seeing it live, was seeing the sweat, seeing the humor, seeing the interaction of the musicians, and seeing
Yeah.
where an idea is taking off, led by one musician, and the way the other musicians are following, all that energy going on. And I realized that, like, when you listen to super fast music or free jazz, something like divorced from the performance, like with your headphones on or on a record, it's a little bit like hearing a theater performance and just having the audio of it, you know.
Yeah.
And I think people
Yeah.
forget that because we've been so trained with music coming through records and radios and Spotify and these things. It's divorced from the reality and the physical performance. And
Right. Standing in the presence of Charlie Parker playing fast is different than just being in awe of his playing on a recording. And all these guys stood in front of Charlie Parker while he laid it down.
right,
That's why they play fast, because
Yeah.
they heard Bird play fast, and all of them. And it was so awe-inspiring to hear this man with that much music pouring out of him, genius pouring out of the horn every time, right in your fucking face. You know what I mean?
Well, and
that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah,
And the fast thing is a legacy from Bird. You know, so you could be like Clifford Brown playing fast with Max Roach. That sets a standard. You know, Max Roach with Sonny Rollins, they do that really fast record where they do Be Swift and Be Ah and those tunes. And then Train playing fast. Now, and Miles playing fast too. The band sounds killer playing super fast. That's a whole chapter, important chapter of the music. Now, as far as like the fully celebrated, see, when you say free jazz, it starts to connote, free improv and maybe a lot of noise and free rubato tempo, where the drums aren't playing. Fully celebrated, when we play quarter note equals 400, it's quarter note equals 400, and it's right down the middle of your head. No apologies, and it's accurate. So what's free about it is the tonality is free. The time, on the other hand, is legit and right down your face. And most any musician or audience member, for that matter, can relate to that. You know you're getting clubbed over the head with some powerful musicianship, excellent tempo playing. What's free about it is we're not playing on preset chord changes like the Ornette school. When Ornette's band plays fast, that's legit excellent time playing. Billy Higgins, Ed Blackwell, best drummers ever. And best fast drummer, Art Taylor, Ed Blackwell. Unbelievable. Billy Higgins, unbelievable on all those records. They own this shit. And so when those guys play heavy tempo in your face, Don Cherry, young Don Cherry, his time is incredible. Top tier best jazz musicians of all time. And that means that their rhythm is super excellent. What's free is you don't have preset chord changes.
right.
So you have the composition and you play off the melody and feeling and tonality of the melody. And now you're free to interpret that freely. So as an accompanist with Jim Hobbs, I predict and use my ears to hear what notes and family of notes he's playing, what tonalities he's playing in, and I shift with him. I can shift in contrast to him. I can shift with him. I can play slow, he plays fast. I can play fast, he plays slow. There's a lot of contrast and a lot of serendipitous unity going on. And when the thing about improvising with Jim is that there's so many serendipitous moments happening between us as musicians, as people, as voices in the moment. It's like a thunderbolt's going off, and you can just feel it. It's like, I know what note he's going to play. He's going to play a D flat. Bam! And then I play it, and I hear Luther just groaning with the same ecstasy I'm feeling. You just feel ecstasy that you have this connectivity. There's like a fourth member of the band telling you what to play. And all you have to do is put your little radio antenna up, and it's all happening kind of subconsciously. It's a great thing. That's kind of the magic of improvisation that is thrilling to people and also kind of beguiling. They seem to have a hard time expressing it, explaining it, or understanding it. Improv. What does that mean?
Now we're getting a little ahead of ourselves in terms of our episodes of Coltrane, because we're going to be eventually getting there. When his music begins to explore those realms. And so, but I think that, just that to talk about, speed and the energy that comes from that. And also, like you said, with Charlie Bird, Parker, and just these are musicians, and that's why we're talking about them on Virtuosity, that are always questing and striving to achieve greater heights with their music, and that comes from composition and of course there is the virtuosity of playing a slow ballad, and we have all different kinds of music that we're going to be talking about throughout Virtuosity. But here
it's funny,
we've got musicians that are striving for that.
Bird when he plays on a ballad, he plays 30-second notes.
Right.
And then when Bird plays medium tempos, he plays 16th notes. And then when he plays fast, of course, he plays 8th notes super fucking fast.
Right.
Where I think with Train you get a little bit more of a variety. Sometimes when he plays on ballads, he just makes it super beautiful and doesn't go into that kind of tour de force that Bird was capable of.
Yeah, yeah.
Train could do it too, of course, but
yeah, and that's kind of what I'm referencing is that many great musicians like Coltrane, have that capability of creating great art at all these different tempos, and they're not relying on just one trick, to kind of show how brilliant they are.
Well, I don't know about like your field of expertise and playing and your enthusiasm for bluegrass, and that's a fast music, right?
There's also a lot of the ballads and slow pieces. Absolutely.
Sure, yeah, you mix it up. So you do a fast tune, a medium one, and a slow one, or you mix it up that way, right?
A lot of the waltzes, the 3/4 time songs usually are the more slow dance type numbers. Again, bluegrass comes out of being dance music.
Right.
Bill Monroe.
So you can't crank it up too much.
Before he was at the Grand Ole Opry, he was touring and setting up dance tents, in different towns. That's where the music comes from playing the square dance,
Right.
and so.
I guess this music comes from dance music too, though, right?
What's that?
Oddly enough. I mean, jazz comes from dance music
absolutely.
too, oddly enough, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's kind of the underlying point and connection to rhythm, that moves your body. You want it to move. When you talk about swing and grooving, it's because there's a pulse that your body connects to, just like dancing.
Right. When in jazz music, I don't know about in bluegrass, but when we play on when we play on ballads, you want to think not so much in quarter notes. You want to actually think in 8th notes. So you kind of allow your body, while you're playing, your mind and the pulse that you feel in your body is a little bit more of like a double time. So boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. So you kind of feeling that upbeat all the time while you're playing. Even though you're not playing it, you're kind of subdividing so you can deal with the slow tempo, like the famous story of people playing with Ray Charles where he plays slower than anybody, right? And
Right.
How are you going to subdivide it when he counts it off? 1, 2. You're like, what the hell? What am I going to, the drummer's sweating bullets. He's going to get fired right now because it's hard to subdivide.
Yeah.
So that's what you do on slow tempos. You subdivide. Either like a triplet, like a 12/8, boom, ba, 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 boom, ba, 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 like that. Or the bass player, myself, would be feeling the upbeats on quarter notes so that
Right.
so you don't slow down and speed up.
Right.
Well, you do the opposite on fast tempos.
Yeah.
In fast tempos, not only do you think in half time, you think in whole time. So measure, 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 boom, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 1. So now you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. That's now I'm playing quarter note equals 500. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Because you're just thinking in whole time.
Right.
So that's how you do that.
Cool. Okay. We just played the Red Garland Trio with John Coltrane, and now we're moving up to the album Soul Train.
We're going to skip around a little bit. This is also in early '58, but I thought the way he was playing was still so much in the bag of what he was playing in '57 that we'll go ahead and mix and match a little bit. And this is yet another tour de force fast piece, Russian Lullaby.
Yes, and this is an old standard as well. I'm trying to think of who wrote it.
Irving Berlin.
Okay. Is that where this comes from?
Believe it or not,
yeah. I think that's right. Irving Berlin.
Yeah.
All right, and been covered by many people and up to
And this
this.
song is usually done in the context of like, virtuoso, pour it on moment,
Right. Okay, let's check it out.